Hey guys, we are back for another Marvel Legends review, taking a look at the start of a wave that frankly I didn't think I was actually going to buy, but here we are. So today we're taking a look at Night Thrasher. This is probably the one figure in the KINGPIN wave that I knew I had to have. I'm a huge New Warriors fan. Hopefully one day we're going to get a speedball, but that's a different story. So we've got Night Thrasher here in our standard Marvel Legends packaging. You can see him there in the window. We've got artwork on the side, and then the back of the box has got product shots and our lineup. So let's do it. Let's pull this guy out and take a look. And here he is out of the package in all of his glossy black glory. This is, like I said, a figure that I actually was interested in just because I have a lot of fond memories of this character from the team he comes from, things like that. Not to mention the fact that there's a lot on this figure that, frankly, I'm not too familiar with, so as far as figures go, it's a fun one to actually play around with, and then he's got a lot of cool accessories as well. So this guy is built upon what, as far as I know, is like the Beetle body, which is a figure that I never got a hold of because I have no interest in the Beetle. But we're going to take a look at Articulation first, and then we'll talk about the body and see how this guy moves around. So I'd say for the most part we kind of have standard boilerplate Marvel Legends going on here, but we've got a head that can go backwards really, really far. I mean, that's more than you generally need, but that's incredibly nice to have. We've got some down tilt, we've got rotation. You can do a little bobble side to side, arms go out, rotation, biceps swivel, of course. We have got double jointed elbows. You get a little better than 90. And then we have got rotation and hinge at those wrists. He's got an ab crunch. He goes pretty well all the way forward. You go back pretty well. And then, of course, waist twist. Legs go out decently, not full splits, of course. Forward, backwards a little bit. Not nothing on the backswing, but not a great deal. Thigh cut, double jointed knees, and then we have got no boot cut or shin swivel just because of the design here with the kind of armor plating. But we've got rotation at the ankle as well as rocker and hinge. So he has, just about everything you might need, and a lot of his articulation is frankly a little more than I had expected. He's pretty agile as far as this character goes, so I think he's pretty neatly articulated. The only thing I would have liked to have seen is, maybe a butterfly joint, but then at the same time, he doesn't have the body structure for that with the parts they use. So overall, I'd say he's pretty nicely articulated. He's got a lot of movement potential here. This guy, quite literally, though, shines when it comes to his design and the look and the feel. And I think they've pretty well nailed the idea behind Night Thrasher because he's got the armor plates. He's really minimalistic, which frankly works just fine. We've just got blacks and we've got reds, and then we've got some paint on what little face we have here. So like I said, he does utilize parts from the Beetle, I believe. The chest, I don't frankly know about the legs or anything like that, but we've got a lot of glossy plastic from the waist up, and then you've got it from the knees down. He does have different plastics on the thighs and then like the quads, so they are not as glossy. They're frankly rather matte, which isn't too uncommon when it comes to Legends, but it's kind of stark here. It's an obvious difference. It's not too crazy. It certainly doesn't bother me by any means, but it's definitely something to point out and just, to notice. Stylistically, though, I think he's pretty rock solid. I like the armored carapace look for the torso. I like the knee pads. I like the boots. I like the elbow pads. I like the belt. It does have a little wash in there to bring out some of that line work. We do have a floating sash that's on his right thigh, and it is movable. It's just, we've seen stuff like this before, but it doesn't really fall down too badly either. So, if you wanted, you could glue that bad boy down and be just fine. He does have this on his back, and this is, I guess you'd call it an accessory, but I feel like it's going to be on him at all times, so I put it on him ahead of time. So this is the kind of apparatus that holds all of his accessories. So we'll talk about those in a minute, but we've got this guy, and it pegs into the ports on the back of this particular body. And then you can put his skateboard in there, and you can put his sticks in there as well. So that's a pretty nice touch. I love when figures can have all of their accessories on them at any given time. So that is a definite winner, and it just adds a little oomph, adds a little depth to the figure as far as, front to back thickness goes. Keeping in line with things that I think are pretty well done, the head is among them. I do, however, have a bit of a problem with mine. I've got some nicks on the black part of the mask on the left side, so that's a bit of a bummer. I can't do anything about it right now, but we do have that little blemish to contend with. As far as the design goes, again, it's more of that same minimalistic Night Thrasher kind of look, so I think it works really, really well. Paint is pretty clean, more of that slightly glossy black. It's not as glossy as the chest, but it seems to be glossier than the legs, or the thighs rather. And then you've got what little face is underneath there, cleanly painted eyes, forward-facing, centered, straight, and some eyebrows showing through. So in general, I don't have any issues as far as the technicalities go on the head sculpt. I think it's on point, paint's fine. I just do have that one small little blemish right there. Now, as far as accessories go, as I've already said, this guy can have everything he comes with. Well, not the Build-A-Figure piece, but everything he comes with that is for him on his person at any given time, which is a huge plus for me just because I don't like storing stuff away if I don't have to. So the fact that he can have all of it either on his body or in his hands is a huge plus for me, just, for my own pet peeves. So we've already got the kind of clip on the back that I've talked about, but we've got his 2 sticks. So these are just Daredevil sticks, the Billy Club basically. So we've seen these before many, many times. You can peg them together. That's not really his thing. He actually uses Eskrima sticks. So the idea is there, and I understand why we don't have unique pieces for him. But of course, it is a little thing to nitpick about. And then we have got his skateboard here, which can fit into the middle of that. It's got all kinds of nicks and cuts and gouges all over it. It's got a little texture on the top. The wheels do roll, so you can move it around and spin it and actually have him ride it. I do think it is a little small. It seems rather small in terms of, what he can do when he's standing on it. He's very, very much kind of crammed on it, but at the same time, it's a nice piece. It's kind of quintessential Night Thrasher, so I think they did a good job with just including it. A lot of me kind of thought that we were never going to get something like this. This seems something that you wouldn't expect to get, that you just get the sticks and that would be the end of it. But Hasbro definitely kind of packed him full of stuff that is specific to him. So even if I think it's a little undersized, kudos to them for actually giving it to us. So overall, this has to be the winner of the wave, and that seems to be the trend from what a lot of folks are already saying. I went into this wave not being all that excited and still wanting this figure just because I like the character, and I've got, a lot of nostalgia for this guy and the team he comes from. I do think Hasbro executed this figure pretty nicely, though. He doesn't have a lot of paint, but that's not a negative. He's not supposed to. He's supposed to be all black. He's loaded with accessories. He can, as I've mentioned over and over, store them all on the figure, and that's a huge win for me personally. I only have a few small nitpicky kind of issues with him. Otherwise, I'd say this is definitely the one to get. If you're only going to get one figure out of the KINGPIN wave, it has to be Night Thrasher. So that's going to do it for this look at the Marvel Legends KINGPIN Wave Night Thrasher from Hasbro. Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and until next time.